first time in his career, Kevin Durant, cornerstone of that Thunder franchise, will miss an extended period of time due to injury.
The league is in a panic about the Thunder owning the Clippers picks these next couple of years.
The NBA was supposed to be starting a new time where all teams had an equal chance to win. But instead, a mix of good luck, crazy events, and smart planning built something nobody expected. In April 2023, the NBA started a big new rule called the second apron luxury tax. This rule added large fines for any team that kept all their highly paid star players together. This was supposed to make the teams more equal. The plan sounded smart. It was meant to spread good players across all the teams so everyone had a chance to win the championship. But what really happened was very different. Because of mistakes by team managers, strange trades, and bad luck for some teams, this new rule did not just change the league, it may have built a monster team that is too strong.
We're focused on, honestly, just us getting better as individuals and as a group. Through every game, through every experience.
Somehow, out of all those crazy events, one team ended up in a great position. People are now saying this team might be the best positioned team in NBA history. How did things get this far? Let us explain exactly how we got here and what changed the whole league. Not long ago, in 2024, the Mavericks beat the Thunder in the playoffs but lost to the Celtics in the finals. Everyone was excited then. It felt like the perfect balance. Every team had a rising star, different ways of playing, and strong teams ready to compete. The Mavericks and Thunder were expected to fight for the Western Conference win for years. The Celtics were expected to rule the East. But then, terrible luck struck. A year later, Jason Tatum of the Celtics got a severe Achilles tendon injury. The Celtics management faced a nightmare choice. With Tatum hurt, their dream of winning was gone. The new heavy second apron tax was also a big problem. They had no choice but to break up the team. They quickly traded away Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis just to avoid paying huge tax fines. The bad luck continued. The Indiana Pacers, another fast-rising team, saw their main stars get the same bad injury. Then came what might be the worst trade ever made by the Mavericks manager. That one bad trade, combined with bad timing and injuries, sent shockwaves through the league. All this chaos left a huge power gap in the league waiting for a team to take over. Out of this mess, one team stood strong and unstoppable, the Oklahoma City Thunder, OKC. They suddenly looked like the most dominant team in years. But that is only half the story. The true turning point came from one of the strangest trades in recent NBA history, the famous Paul George trade back in 2019. Everyone thought that deal was good for OKC at the time, but what came later? It turned out to be a goldmine, much better than anyone thought. When that trade happened, the Thunder broke up their entire team. They sent away Paul George and even Russell Westbrook. They basically restarted the whole team. The best player they got back was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Nobody at that time thought he would become one of the top players in the entire league. But here's the craziest part. It wasn't just Shai that made this deal great. It was the massive number of draft picks OKC got back. At first, they looked like simple, small assets, but almost every single one of those picks ended up working perfectly for OKC.
This is what I've seen you do last year, and I've seen it this year. And I want to know if this is an adjustment by you or this adjustment by Coach Daigneault. I notice a lot of times when you're playing out a pick and roll, sometimes they run two at the ball, whether it's a big or a guard. I've noticed that you start taking the ball to a sideline and attacking the matchup one-on-one instead of bringing the pick to you. Is that something that you're doing on your own? Is that an adjustment by Coach Daigneault? Because when they put two to the ball, you have to get off it. But once you get to that sideline and there's no screen coming, you can attack, you can get downhill, you can make plays, you can get to your spot.
Chill out. You're giving out the scout.
Oh, damn, my bad. I'm a basketball head and I love the adjustments.
Yeah, the open side actions and pick and rolls and those type of things, they eliminate two-sided help. So I know, like, behind me, there's nobody there. So, like, I can freely come off and shoot a jumper. I can freely come off and reject and go baseline if I want to. I just get that whole side. But that's something that, coaches implemented over the last couple of years as we've seen so many different coverages throughout us growing as a group. But coach does a great job of trying to make the game easier for not only myself, but the rest of the guys in the group out there.
Some of those first draft picks turned into very important players like Jalen Williams, who is key to their success now, but the real treasure is in the future. In 2026, OKC will have 3 first-round draft picks. One is their own, one is from Utah, and one is an unprotected pick from the struggling Los Angeles Clippers. Since the Clippers have been playing so badly, that pick could be very valuable. Then in 2027, things get even crazier. OKC will have 3 more first-round picks. The picks from the Spurs and Nuggets are protected, but OKC might still get them. The best part is the spicy pick swap with the Clippers. If the Clippers keep getting worse, that swap could easily give OKC a top 5 pick in the draft. Imagine this, your team is going to win over 70 games and is building a dynasty, a team that wins for many years, and you still get a top 5 draft pick in your pocket. That is rare. It feels almost unreal. Something like this did happen once before, back in 1986, but nothing in the modern NBA is close to what OKC is doing now. In 1986, the Boston Celtics won 67 games in the championship. Then they were blessed with the second overall pick, which they used to draft Len Bias, but sadly, he died too soon, and the Celtics never got to use that great chance. However, comparing those older Celtics to today's Thunder does not really make sense. The Celtics stars in '86 were either at their best or getting old, while OKC's main players are just getting started. And guess what? It does not stop there. The Thunder still have 4 more first-round picks between 2028 and 2030. It is unbelievable. Honestly, the rest of the league, especially the Los Angeles Clippers, have only themselves to blame for giving OKC this much power. The main idea behind the new tax rule, the second apron luxury tax, was to stop teams from collecting too many superstars, right? Adam Silver wanted a balanced league where even small market teams could compete fairly, but somehow that plan failed in a massive way. Heading into the 2025-26 season, the Thunder only 17th in total team salary, which is barely in the middle of the pack.
It's one of those things you just you figure out as your career goes on. Every night I'm at the top of the scouting report, and the team is trying to take me as the top of the scouting report away. So if I am too aggressive, it they're ready for me to be aggressive.
Yet in a few years, things can get difficult when all their good players start asking for a lot of money. The owner, Clay Bennett, does not like spending too much money, and he definitely does not want to be crushed by that new high tax rule, second apron tax. So the team should lose some key players later on. These players would chase bigger contracts on other teams. This is what the NBA boss Adam Silver planned, forcing great teams to break apart. But the Thunder are breaking the rule completely. This team is built differently. They started the season with an amazing 18-1 record, even without their second best player. That kind of deep team strength is unheard of. Their offense works smoothly with many great two-way players who are ready to play well whenever needed. No matter who is hurt, they keep winning. It is like a machine that never stops. When you add all those upcoming draft picks, it becomes completely unfair. No other team can truly compete with the kind of powerful future OKC has locked in for years. The man behind this great team is Sam Presti. Presti is the secret weapon. He is the calm, smart person who makes all the big decisions. Unlike most team managers, he does not just give out huge contracts because a player is having one good season. He plans carefully, is patient, and is always thinking many steps ahead. Look at the Denver Nuggets with Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. They both got huge new contracts because they were young and getting better. But if Presti ran the Nuggets, it is doubtful he would have made those same decisions. Presti even hesitated to pay James Harden years ago. That carefulness has been key to his whole career. Recently, he made another shocking move, trading away Josh Giddey, who is now a star in Chicago, for Alex Caruso. Most managers would never have done that, but Presti did it because Caruso fits the Thunder's team style perfectly. For Presti, it is not about famous names, it is about how the players fit the system and play together. Of course, every great team has people who doubt them. We saw this before about 15 years ago when OKC had the young stars Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. They reached the finals when they were only 22 and 23 years old. Everyone promised they would be the next great winning team, but that team was built differently. It relied purely on raw talent. Their coach's plan was mostly just to let the stars try to score. It was exciting but also very risky. There was no real system, and when one player got hurt, the whole thing fell apart. This time it is a new story. The current Thunder team has a strong system, deep player strength, and a clear long-term strategy. They have learned from their past mistakes. And with Sam Presti in charge, this team is not just trying to win games. They are building something that could be the best team for a whole era of basketball.
Playmaking-wise, I could have been better last year. Shot selection-wise, I could have been better. And then just manipulating the game offensively. And having more control over what the defense does with me as opposed to just reading and reacting of what their scout is. Those are the few things that I've kind of honed in on this summer and tried to really implement on a nightly basis.
The new Oklahoma City Thunder team does not face the same problems that ruined their old team years ago. The proof is clear. Jalen Williams missed many games this season, but OKC still had the highest net rating in NBA history. That is unbelievable. Remember, he is a very good player on both offense and defense. If most teams lost a player that good, they would quickly fall apart. But with the Thunder, you could barely tell he was gone. Head coach Mark Daigneault faced a lot of doubt because he was so young and new, but he proved everyone wrong. He has built a very strong system where every player knows their job and does it perfectly. His team attacks the defense all the time. They put constant pressure, constant movement, and have many players who can handle the ball. If you combine that with Sam Presti's sharp eye for talent, you get one of the best coach and manager teams the league has seen since the Golden State Warriors dynasty. Together, they have made something very special. They have already won 68 games in a championship, and somehow they keep getting better. Since their winning team is one of the youngest ever, their desire to improve and keep winning is unmatched. So now the big question is who can actually catch up to them. Just a year or two ago, people thought Boston would control the East and the West would be a tough fight, but then luck changed things. The Celtics were hit hard by Tatum's bad injury, forcing them to stop winning just when they were at their best. They already had many years of playing together, big contracts, and expensive older players. This made keeping their team together almost impossible. It is funny because they were supposed to be like the old Thunder in the East, a model of smart planning and deep teams. But bad timing and injuries ruined that dream. So the only realistic way for any team to catch the Thunder might be if OKC gets very bad luck with injuries. But let us talk about real competition. The Los Angeles Lakers have been getting
getting much better, led by Austin Reeves, who has become a near superstar. The Houston Rockets are finally playing well together. The Denver Nuggets made some smart trades for a change, and even the San Antonio Spurs are getting good again. The Western Conference has a lot of good teams right now, but no matter how strong they look, OKC still stands tall as the team to beat. Of course, even the strongest teams have small weak spots. The Thunder's deep team is elite, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the engine that makes everything work. His presence changes the entire defense. The moment he steps onto the court, defenders panic because he can score from anywhere. People use the phrase three-level scorer, but Shai is the perfect example of it. He can score deadly close to the basket, from the middle of the court, and from the three-point line, all with amazing accuracy. Some say he is not the best all-around superstar because he doesn't rebound or pass like others, but that doesn't matter. The Thunder system is built perfectly around him, covering any small weakness so he can do what he does best: score points. However, there is one way teams can beat OKC: when Shai's teammates are not playing well. We have seen this happen before in the playoffs, even though this current Thunder team is much smarter and more experienced. The day may come when the role players are too experienced and too confident to ever be stopped again. When that day happens, when every player plays perfectly at once, this team will not just be great, they will be unstoppable. What started as a plan to rebuild has turned into a massive revolution. The Oklahoma City Thunder did not just live through the chaos, they took control of it. With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading, Sam Presti making all the smart moves, and a system that keeps getting better, this team might be creating the next great NBA dynasty. If they stay healthy and keep their intensity high, we could be watching history happen right now. The question is not if they will win, it's how long the league can keep up.